The Lost Mage. Chapter 4. The Book That Should Not Exist. The corridor slowly returned to silence. Ethan stood still for several moments. The strange feeling faded, but something inside him remained uneasy. The library stirred faintly within his mind. Ethan shook his head. Just my imagination. He turned and continued walking down the corridor. But deep inside his mind, the endless library was no longer quiet. Something had awakened. Evening slowly descended upon the grand archive. Archivists closed ancient tomes. Scrolls were sealed and stored away. Lanterns flickered along the towering shelves. One by one, the workers left the hall. Footsteps faded. Doors closed. Soon the vast library was nearly empty. Ethan continued working long after the others had gone. He swept the stone floors, organized fragile scrolls, repaired torn bindings. The quiet suited him. No whispers, no suspicious glances, only silence. Then the library pulsed. The sensation exploded through Ethan's mind like a sudden heartbeat. It was not a voice, not a command, but the direction. Ethan froze. Slowly he lifted his head. His eyes turned toward the far end of the hall, toward the sealed wing, the most restricted area of the grand archive. No apprentice was ever allowed there. Ethan swallowed. Why there? The library pulsed again, stronger this time. Clear. This was not a suggestion. It was a summons. Minutes later, Ethan stood before the iron gates of the sealed wing. Heavy chains wrapped around the doors. Ancient seals glowed faintly across the metal. Runes of protection. Runes of warning. Runes meant to keep something locked away forever. Ethan's heart pounded inside his chest. If Master Harrow discovered him here, he would be expelled immediately. Maybe worse. The library pulsed again. Ethan slowly stepped forward. His hand reached out. The moment his fingers touched the iron gate, the glowing runes flickered. Then they went dark. The chains loosened. Metal scraped against stone. The massive doors creaked open with a long, ancient groan. Ethan stared in disbelief. I didn't do that. Yet the library inside his mind remained perfectly calm, as if this had always been meant to happen. The sealed wing was colder than the rest of the archive. Dust covered every surface. Ancient shelves leaned under the weight of forgotten books. Broken tables stood scattered across the room. Most of the knowledge stored here had been locked away centuries ago. Forbidden texts, dangerous teachings, history that powerful people preferred to erase. Ethan walked slowly through the dim hall. Each step echoed softly. The library pulled again, stronger than before. Ethan followed the sensation deeper into the wing, past collapsed shelves, past shattered pillars, until he reached a narrow chamber hidden behind a cracked wall. At the center of the room stood a single stone pedestal, and upon it rested a book. The book was unlike anything Ethan had ever seen. Its cover was dark silver. Ancient symbols shimmered faintly across the surface. The air around it seemed distorted, as if reality itself bent around the object. Ethan approached slowly. His breathing grew heavier. The library inside his mind pulsed with excitement. He reached forward carefully. The moment his fingers touched the cover, a flood of information exploded inside his mind. Countless flaws, countless truths, countless hidden paths. The library had already analyzed the book. A glowing page appeared inside Ethan's mind. Golden words formed across the surface. Flaws detected. Book title: The Foundation of Eternal Cultivation. Total flaws identified: 312. Ethan nearly dropped the book. 300 flaws? This was supposed to be an ancient cultivation manual, a legendary one. Yet the library had instantly discovered hundreds of mistakes. Ethan's heart began racing. If the library could reveal flaws in cultivation techniques, then those techniques could be corrected, improved, perfected. That meant one thing: power. Power beyond imagination. But before Ethan could open the book, a cold voice echoed behind him. So, you finally found it. Ethan spun around. A cloaked figure stood in the entrance of the chamber, their face hidden beneath a dark hood. Ethan's pulse thundered. "Who are you?" The cloaked figure stepped forward slowly. Their voice remained calm, almost amused. "I have been waiting a very long time for this moment." Ethan tightened his grip on the book. "What moment?" The cloaked figure stopped several steps away. "For the library's next inheritor." The word struck Ethan like lightning. "Inheritor?" The cloaked figure nodded slowly. "Yes. The one who will walk the same path as the first master of the library." Far away, beyond mountains and oceans, a man stood upon a floating temple above the clouds. He suddenly opened his eyes. A faint smile appeared on his face. The successor has taken the first step. Back inside the sealed wing, Ethan still held the forbidden book in his trembling hands. And without realizing it, he had just stepped onto a path that would change the fate of the heavens forever.